Natalie Ferro. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like to take your seats, have a drink, freshen up. Lifting will be starting in 4 minutes. Bottom loaders, get the squat rack ready. At this stage, we can put 100 on the bar.
Now, just go set your feet up where you want. Let's go with it. I have all my lifts in the check-in. Yeah.
50 seconds to normal changes. There's only 8 in this method. This is nice and quick. 8 from the Right, 3 minutes ago, no more changes. Squat and loaders, take about to 100. So first lifter will be Elizabeth Barry. Number 2 will be Amanda, and number 3 is Veronica. Veronica. From France. Amy from USA is number 4. You've got 3 Americans, 2 Russians, 1 South African, 1 French, and 1 Great Britain.
Oh, do I have to press the green one up?
Nah, so the green would be, we're not using that clock. So just ignore that. And reset. Right, Elizabeth there, you should be on standby on the ramp. Amanda, you're number 2, Veronica, you're number 3. 30 seconds to go.
We don't have any rules. All gas power.
Come on.
Elizabeth!
Elizabeth.
Come here, Elizabeth! Elizabeth! Easy! Check!
lots of air, make it light. All the way, girl.
Suck it up.
Squat.
Nice.
Crack.
Two odds, two odds, two odds, two odds. Take ball 120, 120. For Amanda.
Go on, man.
Pass loaded.
Ball loaded for Amanda.
Come on now. Come on, sit up, bro. Nice and strong. Come on, Amanda. Explosive up. That's it. Step back. Settle. Steady it.
Squat.
Chest up, knees out, come on.
Crack.
Let's go, Vic, come on.
Ball goes to 125 for one.
Pass
Ball
loaded.
loaded.
Hey, sit back here. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Squat.
Yes, sir. Hey.
Crack.
And the good. Take ball 125. 125 for Amy. Brandner from USA.
Pass loaded.
Bar is loaded for Amy.
Go, Amy. Go, Amy. Go, down and up. Go. Come on, Amy, down and up. Let's take the warm-up, baby girl. Let's go. There you go.
Squat.
Come on. Head up.
Crack.
Good job, Amy.
2 to 1, good up. Take ball 132.5. For Jody from USA.
Pass loaded.
Bar is loaded for Jody.
Come on, Jody.
Let's go, Johnny.
Go, Jody. Come on. You know what you have to do, baby girl. Let's get it right.
Go, Jody.
Go out there now. Let's go. Go, Jody.
Squat.
Textbook perfect.
Crack.
Textbook perfect. Textbook perfect.
And she was like, nothing wrong with that. Take ball 140, 140. Wherever turn from USA. 140 for Heather.
Go, Heather. I got 10. 314.
Pass loaded.
Bar is loaded for Heather.
Go, Heather. Go, Heather.
Come on, Heather.
Come on, Heather. Sign it up. Go now. There we go. Go, Heather. Get your bounce at the bottom.
Good, good stuff. Good.
Bars loaded. Bars loaded.
Bar is loaded for if we need that. From Russia.
Squat. Rack.
And the good dose. Keep on, good dose. Take about one.
We've got a nice group of lifters here, M1.
All for Yulia.
Spotters and loaders have been working hard for 5 days.
They're doing an awesome job as well.
Yeah.
These guys are demon.
Yulia's set up. She got the squat command from the chief. Nice speed on the lift.
Looked nice and easy, didn't it? Referees didn't like it though. Indicated it was a bit shallow.
3 red lights. They all called her for depth. The hip joint has to go below the top of the knee, and the lifter has to stand erect with knees locked once they come out of the hole. There's Elizabeth Berry from South Africa. She runs marathons in her spare time. Can you imagine that? A power lifter and a marathon runner.
It's not two sports you'd expect to go together very well.
Elizabeth gutted that out. Let's see what the referees say.
And they like it. 3 white lights. Great lifting. Here comes one of my lifters.
Andy Hughes from Great Britain.
This is our first competition internationally, so she has been more than a little nervous. But,
she's a 52 kilo lifter, age 40. What's her athletic background, Mick?
Background? Literally, this is the first time I've seen her lift internationally. So,
was she involved in other sports?
No. It's she seems to come straight into powerlifting.
Okay, that's a little unusual, you know, to start around age 40 and develop the strength to compete at the international level.
Yeah, but then very often these you get these competitors who've competed quietly at club events and locally in their gym and so on, and then they come onto our international platform, which of course is a very scary place.
3 white lights. She made that one look good.
So she's got her first 2 in and 6 white lights so far, so you can't get better than that. This lady looks like she's in your domain, Robert.
Yeah. Amy Brantner, age 43.
You meet these ladies in the street, you'd never know they lifted weights, would you?
It's true. I mean, they look healthy.
Yeah.
If you know how to look at a muscle belly, you see a full bicep, a full thigh, and full calf, as opposed to just bones.
That's your only giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when they're dressed to kill, yeah.
It's always the full muscle belly of youth, which people tend to lose as they age.
Yeah. I just have a belly.
She powered that one up.
Looked easy.
Oh,
Side referees gave it shallow.
Called her for depth. Wasn't deep enough.
Unfortunately, the shallow ones are often the easy ones.
Our USA coach is walking over the jury to protest that call.
No surprises there.
The good coaches know how to work the jury.
yeah. Johnny doesn't miss a beat. As soon as you've got a red light or 2 red lights, you know he's on his way. Many coaches will only appeal the ones they feel were not a good call, whereas other coaches will appeal everything in the hopes. Ooh. There's a tough old middle section there. 3 white lights though. You can see the bar slowly riding up the back there, which is always a dangerous one.
Jodie Funk's coming up. She's from the United States.
Yeah. You've got a big team here, Robert.
We do. Jodie's a terrific competitor. She's an active coach in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area up in Minnesota.
Yep. It's a very inclusive sport, isn't it? So all of the experienced lifters are very, very quick to give advice and help.
Jodie's all over. She's at all the national United States meets. She traveled to Japan this year for the World Bench Press.
Well,
she's here for World Masters in South Africa.
Yep.
Those 2 trips alone would wear most people out.
Yeah, we get around a bit. Look nice. Very controlled.
Referees liked it 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1, that'll do, won't it?
I imagine Jodie Funk will leave South Africa and travel directly to Chicago because the United States National Raw Powerlifting Championship starts in a few days in Chicago.
Straight into the fray, eh?
Yeah, 1,350 athletes in that one.
Wow.
5 platforms.
I cannot even imagine. Bad enough dealing with one.
Well, here's Heather setting up. Nice deliberate walkout. Head coach Johnny Graham's on this side yelling out coaching points.
Oh no. Seem to lose the tension at the bottom there.
Well, she has another attempt, so she'll be back.
I should say Johnny's getting her a good talking to now. For the uninitiated, the depth we're expected to go to is the equivalent of sitting on a low toilet. The downside is there's quite a large weight on your back as well. And it's when you talk to medics and people like that, they are aghast.
Well, Mick, I admit you do have a turn of the phrase.
Well, it's something we all experience somewhere in our lives. That's a good lift.
3 white lights.
Yeah.
Referees liked it. Here's our Russian athlete.
Now, come on, do the surname, I dare you.
Mick, I have to admit I'm at a little disadvantage offering commentary with you because I just got pulled out of the crowd and I don't have any reading glasses.
Ah, right. Well, I'll lend you mine, but you wouldn't be able to see a thing.
I see the screens and that's about it.
I'd say that was a really good cop-out.
There's Out walking around town this morning, it's an interesting little community.
Yeah, I'll settle for Yella.
Nice depth, nice speed.
Yeah. Great technique.
Three wide mark, well done.
She's happy.
Now across the third round.
It's Elizabeth Berry again. She probably stayed warm between her attempts by running a half mile around the hotel complex.
Right.
She is quite an athlete, quite a runner.
Yeah. Yeah, running was never my long suit. I was childhood asthmatic, and it never leaves you.
It's an interesting contrast between marathon running and powerlifting.
Yeah. Well, the muscle development is totally different. There's slow twitch and fast twitch muscles, and that is. Three white lines.
Good enough. Three wide mark. Well done, Elizabeth.
Another good score for South Africa.
Elizabeth was 3 for 3 in her squats.
Yeah.
130 for Amy.
Always say to the lifters, the trick is to put one on the board you can do for 2 in the gym to start with. Your second attempt is going to be one for the team, and the last one's the one you came through the door for.
Okay, here comes the American lifter, Amy Branthner, coached by U.S. coach Johnny Graham.
Yep. Yeah, Johnny spreads a long shadow, doesn't he?
He does. He's been to every Masters powerlifting championships since the inaugural one about 22 years ago.
Wow, that's quite a record. I've been a lot more sporadic. That's quite a cough, Robert. Half of the hotel seems to have it. And it was the referees. Oh, there we go. 3 white lights. Suspense was killing there. And here comes Amanda Hughes next. Who's, my lifter coming for her last lift. And she's coached by Steve Wall, who is a very senior Army officer. When they play the national anthem, he stands straighter than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long career in the military.
Fantastic man. Great coach. Here's Amanda setting it up. Nice solid step out. And in we go. Nice and deep. Grind it out. And the referees say, yes, 3 white lines. It's gone 3 out of 3. Good lifting. And Steve just grabbed her to take her down the slope. I worked a lot harder at that slope than she did. They've got Veronique from France. She's coming out for a third. She's got 2 in her key.
She's having a good meet.
Yeah. Yes, it's always nice to get your squat in that first one. And after that, you start settling in.
She's walking out, setting up.
And the referees say, not deep enough, 3 reds, unfortunately. We always used to say that when you got your first squat in, you were away. But as the equipment's got better, so we now say once you've got the squat and the bench in, you're okay.
The French always bring a big team.
Yeah.
Year after year, they're good at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice and tight. Let's go. Do it your way. Let's go. Lightweight. There you go. Come on.
Yes, I brought a much smaller team to South Africa, but it was a big call.
She worked that one. Let's see what the refs say. Good lift, 2-1.
Yeah.
Well done. Hey, well, 1-5-2. Good going.
Is your busy lady coming out now?
Jody Funk from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the United States, is escaping a big winter snowstorm that's coming very early in the season. The upper Midwest is getting clobbered with 1 to 2 feet of snow today.
That's a lot of snow.
Yeah, airports will be shut down, everything will be shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, we reckon about 2 inches will stop England.
This is a record breaker that the United States is looking at.
She's built to powerlift as well.
She is, she's got all the levers.
Yeah, absolutely right. Personally, I was built to deadlift. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for squat, and that's my excuse.
Good setup. Squat.
Nice and slow in, nice and... Oh, sticky point in the middle. Oh, no, unfortunate. Didn't quite get through the sticky point.
A lot of heart.
Yes, long fine. I think the extreme left hand one is your right. Yes. I think that's you. No, it's not. That's me. Yeah, now I'm back.
Russian lifter Ivan Gina is out again for her third attempt. 162.5 kilos. That's 358 pounds. A lot of weight.
It is a lot of weight. Oh, no, not quite there. Just a bit too heavy. It was a good effort, though. She looked cross with herself. Unfortunately, she only gets one in.
Another Russian lifter.
Yep. She also missed her first one.
We don't have too many Japanese lifters here this week.
No, there's a few, and they're very strong.
Well, they're always strong.
Yeah.
They often, I mean, most championships, they have a huge contingency.
Yeah, Masters, we don't see an awful lot of them.
The Japanese team just hosted the World Bench Press in May. Maybe they're all worn out from that. That was a big effort. They had, I think, 1,100, 200 lifters.
Wow.
Good effort.
Yeah, and the
3 white lights.
Russian coach giving it large there. It's great to see how involved the coaches get. He squatted down as it went down, and he stood up as it went up, and his arms waving about like a windmill. It's great. It's good fun.
So we have a 20-minute break now, and then we'll go to the bench press.
Yep.
We'll ask our lifters to stand by.
That's us logging off. sharing. Okay, just about waking up the platform again. We've got 2 minutes before we start. Just collecting up the referees, officials, and locals.
Just for your information, the next session, which will be starting at 4 o'clock, is the Master 193 and 105. Should be a very exciting
This is
session.
quite a small section. There's only 8 lifters. Back to this as well.
Welcome to Potchefstroom, South Africa for the bench press in the Masters 1 women, 47 up to 63 kilo weight classes. Robert Crawford from the United States with Mick Erlinger from Great Britain.
It's close, Robert. It's Ellender, but hey, that's fine.
Correct me again, Mick.
It's Ellender, I'm sorry.
Ellender? I'm sorry.
And Robert's an honourable, so I shouldn't argue with him, should I? we were making jokes earlier on as you were approaching the bench press, saying, Robert's approaching the bench. It had to be done.
So we have 53 seconds left, and then the chief referee will start the 1 minute clock, and the lifter has 1 minute to complete their lift.
They're going to be kicking off with Elizabeth Barry from South Africa, and she's got 45 kilos on the bar.
Our side referee this afternoon lifted some huge weights last night in the probably 120 plus kilo men.
Oh, Valentin, yes.
Yeah, oh, he was good.
He was very good, and I had a conversation with him very recently when he said both his knees required operations, so he's going to pack up lifting. For a man with dodgy knees, it was amazing.
Mick, I didn't think anybody quit.
No, we just put up with the pain and dropped the weights a little bit. And the lifter's on the bar already. Raring to go, she was.
So Elizabeth's setting up. She's got the handoff man. Gets the start command from the chief referee. Nice and smooth.
Looks good. And 3 white lines. These loaders have done a fantastic job, especially bearing in mind that they also did the African national competition the week before this, so they've had very little pause at all. We got here a little early, and I was pressed straight into jury duty. So the same guys are doing the same job, working very hard. Here comes Amanda now.
I don't know how they can keep up with that volume of weightlifting.
It's good.
It's plates on, plates off. I mean, they move more iron in the course of a day
Absolutely.
than somebody at the gym doing a heavy workout.
They've loaded every weight that these lifters have lifted.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
The coach liked it.
Yeah, and so did the referees. 3 white lights. And now Amanda was very, very nervous about it. I'd just spoken to her in the warm-up room. She said, oh, if I can get this one in. I said, you sure as hell got to. For my sins, I'm also the British team manager.
Mick, how many years have you been training?
I've actually competed for 43 years, Robert. But my first training was, I was a racing cyclist. So I was doing weight training back in the 60s, early 60s. But I've never claimed that because it was for a different sport. Oh, it's a little bit of a notchy lift there. This is for Heather.
Well, let's just say hypothetically, Mick, if you included the years you were lifting weights for motorcycle racing, how many?
No, it was push pedal cycles.
Oh, pedal cycles.
Yeah. I raced for 15 years, and I was rubbish. That's
That's a hard sport.
it's very cardiovascular. But it was quite a good grounding to turn it around for this sport, because there's a lot of legs involved.
Here comes Yulia from Russia. He's charging out there.
Yeah, Yulia's got 77.5 kilos on the bar. Which,
It's about 170 pounds.
yeah, bearing in mind that this is well over a body weight, it becomes more impressive. And it looked very smooth, and the referees like it. 3 white lights. Now we're going for another Russian, Evgen. She's got 82.5 kilos on the bar.
Mick, when you started weight training for your to augment your bicycle racing,
Yep.
did you have access to a flat bench
Yes.
back in the 60s?
The equipment was pretty basic. You'd love it. We lifted in pounds. And the first competition I did, I had to convert from pounds to kilos, and got it wrong. It was part of the experience. And in goes the weight for Evgen, and back over very smooth. Nice easy opening.
Watching these bench pressers from the side, you can see the terrific arches that these
Oh yes,
small women get.
yes. I'd need surgery.
The big boys are lucky to get off the bench when they're done lifting. They have to roll off, and there's no question about them arching their back. But these small women get quite an arch.
They're incredible, aren't they? Some of them, they get their feet on the bench and their hips high in the air, and they wind their hips up towards their shoulders. I can't even imagine what that feels like. And this is Veronique from France. 85 kilos.
Smooth press.
And 3 white lines. And she was 57 kilos, so it's a big lump by comparison.
To the extent that any generalization about people is valid, master lifters tend to be disciplined, steady people.
Yes.
Because they have to train regularly, basically day in and day out, week after week, year after year, in order to perform at this level.
Yes.
They can't just walk out here and call for 1.5 or 2 times their body weight on these lifts.
It's a big ask. Having said that, I lifted with an injury, which meant that I couldn't train for 6 weeks before I came out. Oh, it's very wobbly, very wobbly. Let's see what the referees say. 2-1 they gave it. Don't think that lady's got much left. We've now got Jodie from the USA. Another one from your camp, Robert.
What
This
was
is
your
your-
question, Mick? I missed that with the announcer.
This is your... It was a very wobbly lift, the
Oh,
last
Jodie
one.
Funk, from Minneapolis.
Yes, this is your lady that you've evidently got a lot of respect for.
Yeah, she's lucky she's not at home shoveling snow today.
Yeah. A right result.
They're getting a historic snowstorm in the upper Midwestern United States right now.
We are seeing
Early in the season.
Yeah, we're seeing some big
Heavy.
weather sweeps, aren't we?
Jodie's good bench presser too.
And in she goes. Very solid. And it comes back very fast. And 3 white lights, no mistakes.
And we start the second round.
Now we start the second round with Elizabeth from South Africa. She's down to 47.5 kilos.
47.5. 47.5.
That's better, you turned you. Yeah. Right.
47.5 on the ball.
Elizabeth Barry. Body weight is pretty much exactly the same as the weight she's about to lift. So equal body weight. You see bench press performed a lot in gymnasiums, but in order to meet the requirements here, everything has to be in touch with the bench. Oh, big effort. So you can't lift head, bottom, move your feet, alter your grip. It's done to sequence. And she got 3 white lights. That's good. Very often you make the guys in the gym perform to the same level, and it just doesn't happen, does it? They can't get it off the chest.
Our meet venue is part of the old central area of Potchefstroom, South Africa.
Right.
I noticed some buildings around here that had cornerstones from 1820s.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Now you see that in England all the time. We don't have that in the United States.
Yeah. Back in the UK, the history goes way back on some of the buildings. We've got 11th century buildings and very crazy old. And that was a grinder with 3 white lights. My lifter next, Amanda Hughes. She's coming out on 77.5 kilos. So she's roughly 1.5 times body weight.
Here's Amanda Hughes.
Yeah, she's got 1 on the board. So she's in good shape.
All of our lifters in this session have their opening bench press.
Yeah, that's always nice. You can now relax and concentrate on the competition. Shirted lifting is always a lottery. Slow in. Back up. Such a long push. And the referees say...
I saw that bar go on the left side. Let's see.
Yeah, no, giving it 2-1. The jury's talking. I think they're going to overturn it.
Jury's talking sua sponte. No protest from a coach. Actually, when there's a clear violation, the only time that's going to come to the attention of the score table is if the jury does something on its own, because the lifter's coach is not going to protest.
No.
Maybe a competitor's coach would complain.
It's unusual because it's not very sporting, is it? And now we've got Yulia on the bar from Russia. 82.4. Oh, great catch by the spotters there. Great catch. It came down very fast.
Great Britain, the jury overturned the lift for Great Britain for Amanda. No lift for Amanda. That last bench for Amanda was overruled by the jury.
So unfortunately they've overturned my lifter's lift. She worked very hard to get. It's a shame. The coach is going out to have a word, but I think it would have been a unanimous vote in order for the jury to overturn it. So they won't move. We now got Evgen from Russia, 87.5 kilos on the bar.
She has a nice arch on her back.
Certainly does.
The arch is important because it shortens the stroke of the bar.
Yep. Also improves the tension, doesn't it, in the upper body?
Yeah.
And 3 white lights. Great lifting.
Alan Ferguson is one of our jurors. Alan's from South Africa.
Yep.
He's been involved in this sport for decades.
He is the daddy, isn't he?
He has been a member of the executive committee for the International Powerlifting Federation for decades.
Oh yes. Yes, he's a legend.
At the lifters banquet in New Zealand in 2009 for the World Bench Press Championships. Alan was the speaker, and he got up and he really chewed some butt over all the missed bench press attempts.
Right.
He says, you know, the audience doesn't come to watch you lifters miss attempts. You got to be more reasonable in your selection.
Oh, I don't think so. Definitely went down.
Our women in this
Let's
session
see.
are doing a nice job.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got 2 red lights. They're indicating a yellow, so possibly there was a butt off the bench or a foot movement.
Well, the foot can move as long as it stays as flat as the mold of the shoe allows.
Absolutely.
And that the yellow card isn't particularly helpful in figuring out the fault called by the referee, because the yellow card covers 7 distinct faults in the bench press.
Absolutely.
So you're left guessing about what it could be.
Yeah, it gives us a broad spectrum, doesn't it?
Yeah. The 7th fault for the yellow card is the catch-all of any failure to comply with the performance rules.
Absolutely. That's the reason a completely fouled lift is now a yellow. It falls into that caveat. This is Veronique. Hard old push. And 3 white lines.
Lifters are prohibited under our competition and protocol from approaching the referees to ask what the fault was.
Absolutely, it has to be the coach.
The lifter is supposed to be able to look at the scoreboard and see that red, blue, or yellow light and figure out what was called. But most lifters don't know what the red, the blue, and the yellow light are for.
A lot of them don't, no. And to be fair, there's a few mistakes made, so it's
by the referees.
Occasionally, yeah, you hit the wrong colour. So from the jury, I had to ask the question of one, because we had an appeal and we saw the bar go down. We had a blue on one side, yellow on the other. So I said, what was the yellow for? And he said, I saw the bar go down. I said, so it was a mistake. Okay, that's fine. The end result was the same. Great lifting from Jody.
Jody powered that one up.
Yep. And 3 white lights again. 97.5 kilos.
Jody Funk from the United States has the best bench press in this flight.
Yeah.
She's a little powerhouse.
Certainly is. Pocket rocket. We're back down to Barry Elizabeth, last round in the bench press now. And she's coming out on 50 kilos. So a little over body weight now. When you look at these light ladies, they've got tiny thin arms. Amazing what they can lift. One of the comments. Up she goes, down slow. I expect you can hear Johnny Graham shouting in the background. And 3 white lights. Great lifting. So one of the most common comments about ladies doing weightlifting.
Oops.
Yeah, they've got misload.
The loaders are misloading there. We've got a red on one end and a blue on the other.
They should spotted it though. So the ladies often say, I don't want to get muscly, but so many of them look so trim and slim and still very strong.
Amanda.
Here's Manda. Unfortunately, her last lift was overturned. Let's hope she can put the anger on the bar. Focus the aggression. We've got Steve on the side here. Be giving her plenty of encouragement. And the loaders give her the bar. In we go. Up she goes. Looks solid. Let's see what the referees say. Yeah, 3 white lights.
Well done. Thank you for watching.
Bags of encouragement from Steve.
From USA.
Next we have one of Robert's lifters from the USA, Heather Bowman. She's coming out on 80 kilos. And if I'm reading this correctly, She is 63 kilos, about 1.5 times body weight again.
Team USA is wearing singlets provided by Titan.
Yeah, they're great singlets and great tracksuits you guys are coming this year.
They are.
Yeah.
Different color scheme from other years.
Yeah. I see there's some still got the old traditional red one as well. It's a problem we have in the UK. In she goes. Oh, oops. No, I think she lost the line completely.
On the groove on that one.
Yeah. Yes, it went away from her head instead of towards, didn't it?
Yes.
Unfortunately, no lift. Next we have Yulia from Russia. She's coming down on 82.5 for her last lift. And the Russian coach is there as well. I had a fairly heated conversation with him about a decision earlier. Unfortunately, on the jury, you're nobody's friend.
I'm always interested to see the interaction between athletes from different countries.
Yeah.
Sometimes our countries are in political conflict, but the athletes all get along.
Yeah, very much. Oh, it's a shame.
And you don't
So close.
you don't see referees
3 red lights.
punishing athletes from other countries.
Absolutely not. The reverse is true, if anything, Robert. I've been accused of being on somebody else's side when I've red lighted my own team, but you don't referee a lifter. You referee a lift.
The sport of powerlifting is decidedly apolitical.
Yes. Yeah. No race, no creed.
Great sportsmanship at all these events.
Yeah, absolutely. I often say to people, they say, "Why do you do it?" Well, there's no money in it, but what other sport do you have where you can be beating somebody who stood on the side of the platform cheering you on? It is that sort of level of sport.
Another interesting component of our international flavor is we all use the same gear.
Yes.
Titan, Inzer, Bull,
Absolutely.
and a half dozen other manufacturers.
Amy's, I think she's lost the line. Now they've taken
Well, there look like
lost
there are
the
about
line.
10 problems with that lift. We'll see which
Yeah.
one they call.
Well, it
Yellow
felt
card.
so it's yellow, yeah. You come into what you were saying, Robert. I often say that if all powerlifters were politicians, we could sort the world out in half an hour before we do the competition. It's a lovely concept.
One of our leaders in our sport is Iranian.
Yep.
He travels to all the meets everywhere in the world. He
Yep.
must spend 2 or 3 weeks a month on the road.
Absolutely.
Works hard. Sits in the chair, sits on the jury.
Yep.
Even handles weigh-ins.
Yep.
I'd like to go to Iran and lift someday.
It would be nice. That's a good one. That's Evgen from Russia. Just ground out 90 kilos, got it 2-1. We have a yellow shown, so as Robert said, it's a fairly wide scope for that one.
Mick, how many continents have you lifted on? Europe, the United States, North America?
Yeah, done all of those.
Anything in South America?
Mongolia, I've lifted.
Australia?
No, I haven't been that far.
New Zealand?
No, I've been to New Zealand, but
I'm talking about lifting. Did you lift weights in New Zealand, Mick?
yes, I trained there. I went to visit my sister.
That doesn't count. Okay, so North America, Europe. Did you go to Japan this year for the World Bench?
No, I didn't. I don't do bench only because I'm just not that good anymore, Robert. Oh, it's just stuck. And that was Veronique from France.
You've lifted in Africa.
Yeah, I just did. First time.
I'm counting three continents for you. Is that right?
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to win the Worlds 3 times now.
Now, when you go to these continents, do you do any tourism stuff, or you just
Always.
stay at the venue?
Always. Yeah, part of the deal with Charlotte was that we go and see something, so we always allow a couple of days. We've got Jodie coming out now from USA for her last lift, 102.5 kilos at 57 kilos body weight. So she's not far short of double body weight now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's great lifting, isn't it?
She couldn't be home shoveling snow.
Perhaps it'd be good training.
Her form is impeccable. You watch her
Yeah.
set up in the stroke of the bar.
It's a great setup. Good agility too, because she's got her feet back a long way, but she's still keeping her feet flat on the floor. It's not easy.
She doesn't have as much of an arch as some of the other small women.
Good touch.
Nice looking lift.
She's got
That's
there.
what the judges say.
Yeah. And they've got 3 white lights. Can't do better than that. And that ends the bench press, so I guess we get time to go and have a drink, Reverend.
I'm sticking with the bottled water, Mick.
All right. I'm thinking in terms of a cup of tea.
We'll see you folks on the internet in 20 minutes after the break to warm up for deadlifts.
Certainly will. See you soon.
Why play true? Play true for joy. Play true for respect. Play true for fairness, for inclusion, with pride, with courage, for sport, for equity, for community. Play true for life. So many reasons to play true. What's yours?
このシャツのねアレンジが必要だと思うんですけど、全く同じでできるっていうことで、どんな方でも使うことができるんじゃないかと思います。そしてもう一つね、決定的に違うポイントがあります。このシャツはトップよりボトムの方が軽く感じることができます。普通はトップが軽くボトムが重くなるはずなんですけど、スムーズにボトムまで、重さを感じずにできることができるので、より、重い重量が扱うことができるんじゃないかと思います。
Well, welcome back. Robert Crawford from the United States. We're about ready to start our deadlifts. The bar's loaded for the first attempt from Elizabeth Berry. Elizabeth is a South African lifter. She's doing real well. She's been smooth in her squat or bench press. We'll see what she does in the deadlift. She's only 47 kilo lifter, so she's a small person.
That's me back again.
Mick, what observations do you have for us here going into the deadlift?
It's a great phrase that one of the lifters told me in the gym. He said you squat with your head, you bench press with your legs, but you deadlift with your soul.
Well, that is clever. I thought you were going to tell me the meet's not over till the bar hits the floor.
You got to be in it to win it.
We've been hanging out at the gym too long, Mick, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an environment I'm comfortable in.
Our temperature in the competition hall in South Africa is pleasant. The doors are open to the outside.
Yep.
There's no air conditioning in here.
No, I'm comfortable with that. I'm not a great fan of air conditioning, but 32 degrees is pretty savage.
I worked last week at the African Powerlifting Championships.
Right.
Oh, man. The venue was hot.
Yep.
Hot day.
Yep.
You could humid. You could cut the air with a knife.
Yep.
This is very pleasant.
Yes, this is doable. I lifted in Sibiu in Romania earlier in the year, and we saw 42 degrees. The day I lifted, there was a massive thunderstorm with hailstones, and the temperature dropped like a stone.
Oh, yeah.
But about 20 minutes later, it turned into a sauna. It was evil. At the end of the week, we had our heaviest lifter at 206 kilos body weight, and he permanently looked like somebody had thrown a bucket of water over his head. He did suffer.
Well, with this massive storm that's rolling across lower Canada and the upper Midwest United States, the temperatures are dropping 60 degrees in 12 hours.
Wow.
There are people in Denver who were cutting their grass yesterday, and today they're shoveling snow. Here's Elizabeth.
That's a killer, isn't it?
Pulls it smoothly. Let's see what the referees say. 3 whites.
The deadlift does rattle through quite nice and fast. Next is Amanda, who comes from the UK. She's coming out on 107.5 kilos. This shouldn't be an issue.
That's twice body weight.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
It's a good start. And up like a rocket. That looked very comfortable. And 3 white lines. Yes, we had a lot of conversation in the gym about the fabled Eddie Hall 500 kilo deadlift, which I said and upset them by saying that it actually wasn't that impressive, because the guy weighed 206 kilos in the first place, so it's only 2.5 times body weight, and I'd have failed it on 3 counts, but apart from that, hey-ho. And now we have Evgen from Russia. She's coming out at 130 kilos. So that multiplication is going up quite rapidly. This is actually more than double body weight.
She's a sumo lifter.
Yeah.
Narrow stance.
Quite a slow lift, but there is no right or wrong. 3 white lights.
One tricky aspect about this international competition is the travel.
Yes, absolutely.
I know when I came from
it's a killer.
Chicago, Illinois, in the Midwestern United States, I had a 25-hour flight with a 4-hour layover in Dubai.
Yep.
So, that takes a toll on your body.
Yep.
I've been drinking the local water here without any issues.
You're a braver man than I, Robert. Although, having said that, I've been cleaning my teeth in it. And that's Veronique. Three
whites.
Yeah, looking good. This is your Jody from the USA coming out on 140, Robert.
I missed your question, Mick.
This is Jody coming out from your neck of the woods with 140 kilos.
Oh, Jody Funk, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good one.
57 kilo body weight. So this is getting impressive stuff. And 3 white lights. Next we've got Yulia from Russia. She's also coming out on 140 kilos. And she's also in the minus 63 kilo group.
But back to my point, when the lifters travel from all over the world to basically the end of the world here in South Africa, it plays havoc with your circadian rhythms, your diet, the water you're drinking.
Yep.
You get on the airplane, you've got people from all around the world who are carrying bacteria and viruses that you haven't been exposed to.
I think I've seen more colds at this venue than I've ever seen. Oh, Jesus.
Lost her grip.
Lost that one completely. Let's put a bit of pressure on. We now go 145 kilos for Heather Berman. She's again from Robert's neck of the woods from the USA. I can say that, but when I say the USA, it's a rather larger area than mine in the UK.
Well, we have about 330 million people in the United States.
Yeah.
And if you ride your motorcycle hard across the continental United States, it's about 3,500 miles. We have 2 states that aren't contiguous to the lower 48 states. That's Alaska and Hawaii.
Yep.
Those are our 49th and our 50th state.
That's phenomenal.
So we have quite a range of cultures and climates.
That's impressive. We've got Amy from USA coming out 147.5 kilos. Yeah, if we ride north to south in the UK, we don't quite break 1,000 miles. And that's a good lift, 3 white lights. And next is Amanda. She's taken 117.5 for her second attempt. She's having a good meet. She's now got 3 on the board, so...
all but one of our lifters have made their opener.
Yep.
So the group is in pretty good shape.
Certainly is. Coach has asked for the bar to be cleaned. These ladies have quite small hands. It's a big ask to hang on to this bar. The bars are a standard thickness. They have to be a maximum of 49 millimeters thick. So it is a common size, but the bigger your hands, the easier it becomes. I have very large hands, so I never have trouble with it. That looks nice. That was nice and soft. And it got 3 white lights. Deservedly so. Next we have 125 kilos on the bar for Elizabeth.
Our loaders and spotters have to work hard in the deadlift because every time they change the plates, they're bent over at the waist and they have to stand erect and put the plate in their plate holder.
Absolutely, yeah.
These guys get a workout.
It's highs and lows, it's all hamstring, isn't it? But at least they have the stand to put the bar on these days. I can remember having to load these and shuffle it onto the end of the bar all the time. It was hard work.
Here's Elizabeth Berry pulling nicely. Oh, she's leaning forward.
Yeah.
Let's see what the referees say.
Bit notchy. 2-1. Good lift.
Okay, we had one referee, the chief referee, thought there was either some downward movement in the bar or that she supported the bar on her thighs.
We didn't get a reaction from the jury though.
No. Maybe the jury's tired. When you're responsible for judging, you can always look stoic and sit there.
My impression from jury service is that you only overturn something that is fundamentally wrong. If it's marginal, then okay, it was marginal. It's a hard deadlift. This is Evgen.
Is she?
She got in there. I don't think there's much left in the tank now.
I don't think she has anything left. That was maximum effort.
Now we got Yulia from Russia who missed her opener. She's coming out. She's kept 140 on the bar again that she missed. So hopefully she's going to get it on this one.
You hate to see anybody bomb out.
Absolutely.
Everybody travels so far, they train so hard.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate phrase these days, but that's how we see it. And it's probably right at the top of the list of everything you never wanted to do. Ooh, it's much
that
faster.
was smooth.
Yeah. That's a nice easy one now. 3 white lights. The question the trainer will ask now is, why didn't you do that the first time?
It's a difficult transition between each of the 3 disciplines.
Yes.
Because you use such different muscle groups.
Absolutely.
And the other issue is when you're training at your local gym, you probably don't do all 3 disciplines in the same training session.
Very rarely. There's not time.
You decide when you want to lift and how fast you want to lift.
Yeah.
Those choices are taken from you in an international competition.
Every way, yeah. This is Jody coming out now with 150 kilos on the bar. So we're working up towards triple body weight now. I've only ever done it once.
She's got some.
That looked nice. There's looked a bit in the tank there, Robin. 3 white lights.
She's got some athletic shoes on that have a sole about 1 inch thick. She's such a technician. I'm surprised she doesn't go to something like dance slippers.
Yeah. I've got a pair of
that would lower her 1 inch lower to the floor.
Absolutely. I use a pair of very thin-soled. I believe they're boxing boots.
Yeah.
To get me as low as possible.
Or wrestling shoes or dance slippers.
That's it.
The rules require that the slipper have a sole on it.
That's right.
But that's it.
Look to wander about a bit, that one. Let's see what the referees say. No, 3 white lights, they like it. Difficult to tell from here. We have a referee sat right in front of us.
Well, one of our jurors, Natalie Farreau from France, is doing a lot of gesticulating over at the jury table. I don't know what that's about.
And we've got Heather Berman coming out now from the USA, 155 kilos. Heather is a 63 kilo lifter. If I put my glasses on, I might be able to see the screen better, Robert.
That helps, Mick.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with the reading specs.
Yeah, well, 74 years and good eyes, unfortunately, don't usually go well together. Oh, hell, that was better. And that was 3 white lights.
Now we got a 157.5. For Amy.
We've got Amy Brantner from USA, 157.5 kilos. Last lift of the round.
She has on her red, white, and blue American-themed socks. Looks like our national flag.
Quite often see the lucky socks where they're 2 different colours completely.
As long as they've been washed, that's all I care about.
Oh, sometimes in the kit check. Ugh. You just don't want to know. That was a nice solid pull.
Yeah, and she put it down gently.
Yeah, 3 white lights. Yeah, the first thing you do when you've done a kit check is you go and wash your hands. We've now got 130 kilos on the bar for Amanda. She's coming out on her last lift now for lifting for the GB. As I say, this is her first major international meet, and she went from being very nervous, but she's put it together. Put the nervousness behind her.
Nick, we should mention that your wife has been working hard all week at the score table here.
She is an absolute trooper, Robert. She's handled all the paperwork for the team, kept everybody informed, takes pictures, keeps the score table. Wow. She's a machine. Oh dear, a little bit too heavy for Amanda.
We need about 20 meet officials for every session.
Yeah, yeah.
But between the 3 platform referees, the 3 jurors, the speaker, the scorekeepers, the video people.
I think the platform staff have well outnumbered the lifters in this group.
Yes, we have five spotters and loaders.
Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. That was Elizabeth who's come out. Unfortunately, it was too heavy too. So we're getting a few lifts missed now. Oh, but it's getting exciting now. They're playing chess. For the uninitiated, you can change your last lift on the deadlift twice. So if you're running close with an opponent, you start altering that number to try and push your competitor into a place where they're not quite so comfortable, or alter the order of lifting. We call it playing chess, and it gets very, very tactical. This is where a good coach really comes in, wouldn't you say, Robert?
We see a lot of the last second weight changes in the deadlift at the international level, and in the United States we have many paid coaches.
Yep.
It's changed the game in the United States.
Fantastic, yeah, and you don't see it quite so much at local level, do you?
No.
Oh, that's
too heavy.
Yeah, it was too heavy.
She should have changed that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Evgen finished up with just one deadlift, didn't she? Or am I wrong? No, maybe I'm wrong.
No, so far everyone who's finished has 2 good lifts.
Yeah.
Got a couple red lights on here, but
yeah, absolutely.
The women and their coaches are doing a good job assessing their abilities.
Oh yes, that is quite an art.
That changes so much, with the heat and the time of the day you lift, and
and it's difficult to recognise.
One of the little things is if you're one of the last people to get weighed in the 2 hour period, you have less time to eat, hydrate, and warm up.
Absolutely. It's all pressure. This is Yulia from Russia. She's coming out on 1:45 for her last attempt. She's on the bar.
She wants to get this second one in. Nice and
that
smooth.
Was solid. And we got 3 white lights. Good lift.
There's a tough transition between each of the 3 disciplines in the warm-up room because you use so many different muscles, different equipment.
Absolutely.
And they're only getting 20 minutes to warm up. So the last person, say in the bench press, leaves the platform and they've got to get into the warm-up room and change their equipment, get some warm-up sets in.
Absolutely. Here comes Jodie. She's on 157.5 kilos. Yeah, I've got quite a big bench, so that means I'm second to last or last on the platform. And then you come out for the deadlift, so I often do 2 warm-ups and out on the platform.
Yeah, Jodie's real close to 3 times body weight here.
Yeah, she certainly is. Yeah, slow. Yeah, she's got it knocked out. Yeah, what do the referees say? 3 white lights. Great lifting. They picked that one spot on, I'd say, wouldn't you, Robert? We now have Veronique. She's coming out on 160 kilos. Veronique weighs, she's in the 57 kilo class. So 6'3", 6'18". She's actually over 3 times body weight now. That was quick, put a mental arithmetic in there. Takes me a moment. So 160 kilos, there's a lot of people, quite big blokes that can't lift this weight. Unfortunately, nor can she. That's a good effort though. So Heather's coming out on the same weight from the USA. We're now getting down to the last 2 lifts of the match. Here she comes. Fortunately, we can't see the overall effect from here. So to work out the tactics.
U.S. coach Johnny Graham is getting her fired up.
Oh yes, he's on the ball. Oh, what a shame. Just got the shakes on, but it didn't quite go through. Quite recently, one of the lifters described a really, really, really hard deadlift as I pulled it through the epileptic dog section, which I thought was probably completely improper. It describes it exactly, whereas you're bouncing up and down and everything's shaking, and you're trying to keep that weight going. That is flat out. I apologise for the coughs, but there's so many colds and I'm just on the back end, but fortunately I lifted before it came out.
Here's Amy in her American-themed deadlift socks.
Yeah, and the last one on the platform. That's always a good sign when you're the last one out.
363 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
That really came off the floor. 3 white lights. Oh, you put a name on that one.
That's 2.5 times her body weight.
Yep. It's great lifting.
Well, thank you for tuning in and listening to the commentary. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I hope we haven't made too many bloomers, but
the platform staff will get the platform cleared up.
Yep.
And in a few minutes, we'll have the medal ceremony, so stand by.
Bye for me.
The next weight class is the Master 1 under 52. And we give all 4 medals, please, to the World Champion 2019, coming from Great Britain, Amanda Hughes. Please be standing for the national anthem of Great Britain. Now we go to the ladies under 57, Master 1. In the squad discipline, the squad of 140 coming from France, Veronique Descour, silver medal. And only 2.5 kilograms more from the United States, the winner of the spot and gold medal, Jodie Font from USA. Ladies, we move on to the bench. Silver medalist in the bench discipline with a bench of 90 from France, Veronique Descour, gold silver medalist. The bench of 102 coming from the United States, gold medal in the bench, Jodie Funk. And you go to the deadlift, 154 from France, silver medalist, Veronique Descour from France. Excuse me, my voice is going on. One second. For the deadlift of 157 from the United States, gold medal in the deadlift, Jodie Funk. We come to the overall winners of the World Championship 2019 here in South Africa. With a total of 380 from France, the silver medals for 2019, Veronique Descour from France. From the United States, with a total of 42.5, World Champion and Gold Medalist 2019, Jodie Funk. Please rise for the national anthem of the United States. The 63 ladies, master one. We start off with a squat. With a squat of 145 from the United States, third position and bronze medal, Heather Burnham. With a squat of 155 from Russia, silver medalist Evgenia Cheshevskaya. With a squat of 170 from Russia, gold medalist goes to Yulia Vinogradova. Okay, ladies, we're just going to swap places now. Bronze medal from Russia in the bench, 77.5, goes to Yulia Vinogradova, bronze medalist. From the United States with a bench of 85, silver medal goes to Amy Bradner. With a bench of 90 from Russia, gold medal in the bench goes to Evgenia Cheshevskaya. Smile. Thank you, ladies. We go to the deadlift. With a pull of 145 from Russia, the bronze medal in the deadlift goes to Yulia Vinogradova. From the United States, with 155 deadlifts, silver medal goes to Heather Burnham. With a pull of 165, also from the United States, gold medal in the deadlift goes to Amy Bradner. Thank you, ladies. Now we come to the overall placing in the World Championship here in South Africa 2019. With a total of 380 from Russia. The bronze medal goes to Evgenia Cheshevskaya. With the same total, but a lighter body weight, coming from the United States. Silver medalist, Amy Bradner. With a total of 392.5, coming all the way from Russia, world champion, gold medalist 2019, Yulia Vinogradova. Please be upstanding for the national anthem of Russia. competition starts at 4 o'clock with the men. Give them a big round of applause as we say goodbye. Thank you for coming to join us here at the World Championships.
Play true for respect. Play true for fairness, for inclusion, with pride, with courage, for sport, for equity, for community. Play true for life. So many reasons to play true. What's yours?
Don't fall off the stage.
このシャツの古着屋で少しアレンジが必要だと思うんですけど、全く同じでできるということで、どんな方でも使うことができるんじゃないかと思います。そしてもう一つね、決定的に違うポイントがあります。このシャツはトップよりボトムの方が軽く感じることができます。普通はトップが軽くボトムが重くなるはずなんですけど、スムーズにボトムまで 重さを感じずにできることができるので、より、重い重量が扱うことができるんじゃないかと思います。